What's going on, y'all? My name's Luke, and welcome to the video. Let me just make sure that this thing is actually filming. Yeah, we're good. Alright, so today I wanted to talk to you about something pretty important to me. You see, there's somebody in my life right now, or at least someone at work, cough, cough. They are dehumanizing to people. And the name of this video is called Stop Dehumanizing People. And I know you're probably thinking of a lot of things, including Nazis, right now. And that's obviously one thing that you should steer clear from. I'm trying to get down to more simplistic and lifelike level. Something that you may experience in your life, whether it's a coworker or maybe even yourself. You're doing these tendencies. And I think that you should become self-aware of these tendencies today. So there's a couple things with it, but partly is, are you engaging with people honestly? Honest with yourself and honest with them. When you speak to someone, are you respectably talking to them? Not on just a professional and customer service level. What I'm talking about is genuinely interacting with them like they're a human being, because they are. And if you're in customer service, you know that there is a threshold where you kind of have to be fake to people. And it can be tough sometimes, and sometimes you can get sucked into it. You can be pulled into that customer service feel, and you stop speaking like a human being to people. You start, talking like a robot, and you start treating people like they're nothing. And that's dehumanization. That's looking down on someone because, well, you're the authority in this place. You are the person that is working here. They have not been here in the last 20 years. They probably haven't been to the hospital in a while. Or maybe, they haven't, what I'm trying to say is they haven't been to the hospital in a while, or maybe they haven't been to this restaurant in a while, or maybe they don't know how to cook. Maybe they haven't been to the grocery store in a while. I don't know what's wrong with them. But the point is that you work there 40 hours a week or more. You know what you're doing there. They have no idea. So that power of, customer service and understanding that, oh, well, I know what's going on. They don't. I'm here to teach them and also assess and treat their problem, right? The problem is that if you get sucked into that mindset and you start thinking, well, I'm better than this person because they have no idea what they're talking about. Of course they don't know what they're talking about. They haven't been there. So stop talking to people like they're some idiot. Although some of them are a little bit slow to catch on, people aren't stupid for not knowing something that you do. It just means that you have more experience. It doesn't make them stupid, it makes them inexperienced. And it's your job and your responsibility to teach them exactly what is going on and how to do that. Now, the real question is, are you a good person doing that? Are you respectable to people? Are you going to be making jokes with them while also remaining professional and authentic? I don't know. But I will tell you, it isn't everybody. There's some people that aren't authentic. And also, there's blackberries here. See that right there? There's a ripe one. In Florida, this is blackberry season. So if you have them in your backyard or neighborhood, they've got thorns in them. I just stepped in them. But that's a blackberry. And they're all around here. They're really good. They're a little bit dried out from the sun, but it kind of makes them taste better. So anyways, what I was getting back to saying is, man, they got bushes everywhere, huh? Here. Is there's someone at my work right now, and they do that to people. They talk to them like nothing. Like just so soulless. And I thought I was bad at times. I am self-aware that I have bad tendencies. I talk like a robot sometimes, and I can kind of clam up. I'm definitely more of an antisocial kind of person, and I have a lot of those tendencies. I'm a little bit more sheltered, you know? I'm an only child, so I just kind of sit back and listen and talk when I need to. But then when someone finally decides to listen to me, I come out of my shell. And I don't come out of my shell with everybody, and quite honestly, it's like about 1 patient per 30 that I genuinely have a connection with, where I feel the need to actually talk to them for real. But it's always present, it's always available. I'm always available to talk to someone, you know? I mean, for real. I'll talk to somebody for an hour, I don't care. But I just hope that, you know, we mesh well, and you've got a good personality, and you're a semi-decent human being, and you have patience, and I hope I have patience with you, you know? I don't know, that's one way I try to approach. But, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Sorry about that. But that's the thing. Are you going to talk to people the right way? You see, this person at work that is with me is, when they talk to people, they speak as in, what's the address? What's the date of birth? What's the name? What's the last name? And I'm just thinking, there is no reason for that. A couple slip-ups here and there, fine by me. What's the pharmacy? You know, that makes sense. What's the emergency contact? What's the relationship? And you start going, are you ever gonna say, what's your relationship? Oh, is this your husband? Oh, really? Just nothing. It's always the. And I didn't realize it was such a problem until now, but there's a reason that humans, ourselves, us, take so kindly and so strongly and so against the people when they have the wrong face, when they look ugly, when they look bonita, when they're pretty, and also when they talk funny, when they talk weird. Language is such a strong, it's such a strong motivator and detractor in life. It's such a powerful influence on our lives, you know. And if you don't know English, fine, then in Spanish, in your own country, you know Spanish, and everyone around you knows Spanish, and language in Spanish means things, right? Every language is important in your own country, and hopefully you can be a slightly bilingual, or at least know body language. However, in English, there's certain words that are just, they ain't right, and that's the. The used in the right context makes sense, but when you're talking to someone for the first time, and you're speaking to them in, what's the last name? What's the date of birth? What's the social? What? Just say your. Just say his. Just say hers. Something. Give me something. It's so media trained. It's just repulsive. Now, I understand that in my future, I'm gonna have to learn media training, and I might even have to wipe my YouTube. Although I have tried to do the best I can on here, I understand that freedom of speech only goes so far, and you get pretty far in your field, you start to have to carry your words carefully, be a little bit quieter, don't talk as much, and maybe even you better figure out how to speak differently, use different terminology, be more broad and value-based, you know, like an idea more than a specific solution to a problem. And I don't like that. Now, the reason I'm going into leadership in my future is because every single one of my leaders has failed me in the past and present. They make mistakes, they don't care, and they're media trained to the T, to the point where they have no soul. And I thought I was bad. but they are worse than me. And that's why I've decided that I need to learn how to do their job, how to do it better than them, how to be better than them. Not just in a competitive sense to make more money than them, which is awesome, but I also want to learn how to be a better person than them and be a better leader and do better than they ever could. That's why I'm going into leadership, if you don't already know. And that's why I make these videos, because I know that to get my voice, to get my passion out, I have to say something. I have to do this, I have to do anything, you know? And that's why I try to do these videos. Gotta get a voice at some point, right? Maybe if you're struggling as well, I suggest you give it a shot too, you know? That's just one way of approaching, one way of doing it. Let's see if we can walk up to this fence here. Man, what a time to be alive, though. You know, that is the question about reality. Is how far are you willing to go for money before you lose your soul? How many hours are you willing to work per week before you lose your soul? How many people will you give up on just to win? That's pretty sad, isn't it? I don't know. Call a little detour there. Whew. I'm getting lit up. Ow. But yeah, I think that is a problem in our lives. If you don't address it, it'll come back and bite you. You better keep living. Because the things we owned end up owning ourselves. Like these pants that I just torn up in the thorns and absolutely demolished. And they're now shredded beyond belief. That was a stupid idea. The point is, well, I don't know, I was watching Finn and Jake the other day. Well, I was watching Finn and Jake clips on YouTube, and something Jake said stuck with me. I've watched it like 3 times over now, on accident, not on purpose. But he said, you see this cup? This is my favorite cup. And he's like, this is my best cup, my best mug. I love this cup so much. He throws it out the window and says, now it's gone. And now it doesn't matter anymore to me, because the past is the past. You know? What am I going to do about it? You know, worrying about it doesn't bring it back. And I thought a lot about that. And while it is a little bit pessimistic, like you're just letting go of whatever, and slowly things start to matter less and less to you, but it's not about forgetting the good things. You know, you don't want to forget the good things in life. You don't want to not fret about those. You know, that's how people end up in relationships where you just like, yeah, I really don't care, whatever. That's just one of my on my roster. She's not my girlfriend, she's just my friend. Okay, that's how you want to live your life? Fair enough. No. What I'm talking about is all the bad things in life, all the negative things. I want you to think about them differently in your memory. Just laugh at them. Maybe don't even give them a thought. Don't even think about it. You can laugh at first, but then maybe even cry. I don't know. But then I want you to give up on it. I want you to just give up and say, I don't care. Never mind. I don't know. That's just one way of approaching. just give up and say, you know what, it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't. The good things should matter, but the bad things don't. Just give up on them. You know, and that's what you need to do. And I was thinking today, I said, you know what? I just went to I was just at work all day, 8 hours. I've got to do it every day this week until Friday. I think I have Friday off, so that's pretty sweet. But yeah, just don't care. Do whatever I want. But at the end of the day, I gotta go to the gym. And I was on the treadmill for about 45 minutes today. And I could have walked out here too, but my thing is I needed to be on my phone during that time, and I like being in the AC, and I still wanted to go to the gym, and I thought, well, maybe I'll do some weight training today, and I didn't. And that's a shame. I don't want to miss weight training, but I also want to incorporate some more calisthenics into my life again. I want to do push-ups, sit-ups, body weight squats, get back to basics, get flexible, and just try to clean up my diet a little bit more, be more proactive in my daily life, try to go on more walks every day, not just 30 minutes on the treadmill. I'm talking about living out here in the sun, getting a little bit of air, a little bit of fresh air, and just walk out here for an hour and a half, not on a stupid treadmill, but just live life. Because what I've realized is even at the gym, time moves faster. You could be doing weights, you could be doing the treadmill for an hour, and you can go at any speed you want, or just do running or walking or jogging or hiking up really tall incline, but it's nothing in comparison to this. And I felt like I've missed out on this a lot. Now, I have done the thing where I've gone to work, gone to the gym, then go out on a nature trail, and get home at like 9 at night, take a shower, eat, and go to bed. But that's just not enough time, because I spend so much time out that when I get home, I'm tired to the point where I don't want to do anything else. I just want to go to sleep. And I'm going to do that tonight too, but at least I'll have an extra hour back where I'm able to enjoy my food, clean up around the house, and still enjoy my time out here. So I need to try to incorporate my calisthenics back into my life, whether it's in the morning or at night when I get home, or even on this trail here. If I set down the phone for a second, excuse me. But that's what I've been trying to incorporate, because I know that soon I'm not going to be able to have the luxury of going to the gym. I'm going to be moving out of my house soon, and I'm not sure where I'll end up. So I need to be able to exercise anywhere and everywhere. Because sometimes you don't have time for the gym, but you do have 30 minutes. You may not have the 15 minutes to the gym, an hour and a half in there, and then 15 minutes out of your way to get back to your house, which is also another 20 minutes. No, not like that. No, what I'm looking for is the ability and time to go somewhere, wherever I want, and just pick up where I left off yesterday. I won't be the biggest, most muscular dude in the world, but I just hope to be fit and healthy. Maybe even have abs if I work hard enough for it. Go on a couple runs. David Goggins type mindset. Lose this fat for real. But it means I need to have a more wholesome nut life. I gotta stop just going to the gym, working my ass off, going home, eating a ton of protein. I'm not losing weight. I'm not gaining muscle really that much enough. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like I'm doing it right. So I need to reevaluate. I need to change my mind. I need to figure out a better way to do this. And when I do this, it requires time. It requires effort. And it requires a clear head. And that's why I like pacing, and that's why I like walking in nature. Because this is the only place I can clear my head. I've tried everywhere else, trust me. The emptiness out here, This is the only way you're gonna do that. Man, that's just the way I've tried to approach life, you know? I know we got really off topic here, but let's try to get back to it. See if we can grab another blackberry here. Let's see. I see a red one. That's gonna taste like garbage. They are really thorny, so I'm about to get ripped up in my pants again. I'm not seeing any here. Oh, anyways. Oh, here we go. A little bit too early in the season, I presume. Oh, anyways. Let's see. There's a lot of them here. Wow. Yeah, these plants are just a little too fresh. They're a little too young to be growing blackberries that early. But anyways, what was I talking about? That dehumanization, right? By the way, I thought about cutting up this video into like small parts, do 10 minutes a pop, crank out the view count, and then I was like, first of all, I'm not a big channel, so who cares? I can do whatever I want, and I won't get any views regardless, so who really cares? I'm just gonna do me. I'm not gonna fret about it, I'm not gonna worry about it. There's always tomorrow to make another YouTube video. And you know, hopefully I pop off eventually. That's all that matters, right? And also, it's just about getting my thoughts out. That's how this all started, and that's how it's all gonna end. I don't care if I'm doing this till I'm 100 years old. I'm just gonna be pouring out videos, getting my thoughts out there. This is my autobiography. Hopefully I give some wisdom here and there to myself in the future, and maybe to you. And maybe it'll be all for something at the end. But the dehumanization, that's something I've thought about. You know. And don't get me wrong, I've had bad days, I've had slow days, I've had days where I just can't stand anyone. But I try not to let it show. Because being a good person, or at least attempting to be one, requires that discipline, requires being able to be positive to people, regardless about how you're feeling. Because what you feel doesn't matter to others. If you want positivity to come back to you, you need to surround yourself with positive people. And you're not going to get positive people around you if you just trash talk everyone all the time. That toxicity leaks out to others. And either you shoo off the good people in your life and you bring towards the bad people, or you actually taint the good ones into becoming toxic like you, and then you end up being a terrible person. Like, for example, workplace drama. Don't spread it, don't start it, don't interact with it whatsoever. If you interact with it, if you talk about it with others, it will come and back and bite you. Even if you had nothing to do with the situation, even if you have nothing to do with it at all, you had no opinion on it, no idea of it. Heck, you could just be talking about someone else told to you, to someone else that you trust. It doesn't matter. Because if you spread it around, it always comes back. Talking about something negative about someone else, regardless about who said it first or your intentions behind it, always finds it to the wrong person. And once you realize that, you start to realize you need to keep your mouth shut. And you'll stop talking to people about the stupid things in life. And that's what I've learned. Very slowly, but very surely, that's for sure. I know a couple people at work, they can't keep their mouth shut, and it don't bite them, but it certainly bites me if I try to speak up, so I do not speak up anymore. I keep my mouth shut, and I say exactly what I want to say, and if it gets back to that person, I know that it's going to happen, then that's fine. But just understand that there is no such thing as cameras everywhere and mics everywhere Not everyone's wearing a wire, but what they are wearing are ears. People listen. People are going to say what they say, and people don't forget. And if there ever comes a time where someone wants to say something about you, they've got ammunition. So don't give it to them, or give them the right one. You know, a great way about keeping yourself in check is, one, telling truths that people that you know will get back to the other person. Telling someone something and expecting it to be told to someone else is a great way to spread information properly. I mean, understand this, when you tell someone something, it's not you and you, it's to everyone. That's why they say don't in the workplace, if you know what I mean. Don't be okay? Because let me tell you this, even if you two both agree on being hush hush, someone finds out, I'll tell you what, the eyes do not lie. You can spot the chemistry between two people very fast. We're very good at it. First of all, one-on-one between ourselves, pretty awesome. But also, secondly, seeing other people make eye contact, even if you're just friendly with other people, they notice that. Even if you're friendly, really, really friendly with someone else, they notice that. If you hate someone with such a passion that you just can't stand each other, people notice that. Everything is noticeable, and everyone will notice if you are in a relationship with someone else. So I suggest that if you plan on keeping that a secret, to not date at the workplace, because it will come out. It always does. Everywhere I've always been, the people around me find out about others and myself. But I was 18, I was stupid, and I learned my lesson twice, 3 times. I was 18, bro. Leave me alone. But if you want to talk about people in the workplace, don't do it. I promise you, it always goes south. You're probably young and stupid because the other person doesn't realize that they shouldn't be dating in the workplace, and you will both piss off each other, and it'll spread like poison everywhere. And then your chances of being friends, coworkers, or relationships with other people is burnt in that area, and your promotion chances can also be endangered. Don't do it. I don't care if you're working at McDonald's or a dishwasher in the worst place imaginable, in the pits of hell. Do not talk about your coworkers whatsoever in any romantic sense or drama-wise. Because I know somebody that got burnt by spreading that drama. You know, it's not a good look. It's not a good idea. Don't do it. Man. But that's just what I've been looking at. That's what I've been seeing. These bugs are really gotten on me. There's the blackberries again. Glad I brought my shades too. Jeez. Get this out right here. Whoopsie. My bad. I don't want to give you motion sickness. Don't have water, but I got lip balm, or lipstick, or chapstick, whatever it's called. I don't know what the difference is. Who cares? Alright. So, how do you approach life? I don't know. I'm just living it one day at a time, you know? I try to appreciate every moment, because you don't know how many you have left. And there's going to be days where you're like, I kind of want to, you know, Darth Vader somebody. But then you realize, wait a minute, I don't have much life in this world. I better make it count, and I better make it worth it. And also, things you do are permanent. Whether it's verbally, physically, or whatever. When you say something to someone, or you do something to someone, or you forget to open the door for someone, it sticks with them. It may not stick with you, but it sticks with them. It's burned into their memory, and they'll spread that to people around them. So, good or bad, bad or good. If you disrespect people, it'll come back to you. People talk about karma, but they don't realize it. They don't understand it. It always comes back to you. It always does. Let's take a little break over here. A little break in the forest. Nice little shaded area. This looks nice. Hang on. There we go. Bang. So this is a new type of vlog I'm doing, that's for sure. Let's just assess the damage on these. Well, these are cooked. Shredded up my pants, so that's awesome. Good thing they're Amazon, 20 bucks for 3. No, I think it's more than that. Oopsie. Ugh. I love this trail. It's long, it's open, it's for horses. You know what I mean? And your boy, we're in the size 12s. Wait, really? I forgot. I'm size 12 something, 12 wide probably. And I think bigger than this actually. Maybe double wide. I got like clown feet. Man. Trying to be patient with this, trying to let it flow, you know? It's a gorgeous day out though. It really is. It's peaceful out. Is it peaceful by you? I hope it is. That's a problem, man. People talk about meditating all the time. It's so ridiculous. Cause no one really meditates. When someone says to me, "Oh yeah, I just did a little meditating." No, you didn't. You are not meditating. You are not meditating at all. You just said that to be cool. Watch this. I'm gonna meditate for 5 minutes. I like to power meditate. Yeah, it's something you don't understand how to do. Let me show you. See, when I meditate like this, I do this. Domain expansion. And I hit him with the Andrew Tate. Hang on. Hang on. And I mog him. Ooh. Yeah. And I close my eyes, but one eye only. Because I always keep one eye open. Even when I'm sleeping. How stupid is that? I don't know, people make up stupid stuff. And you can kind of tell, man, some people will... Man, I keep saying some people. Some people really do this. They will talk about the things they do wrong in their life and the things they do good in their life to the 10th degree. What do I mean by that? I mean, when someone says, "Oh yeah, I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night. Oh my gosh." And they're like, "Oh really? Man, that sucks." They want sympathy. They want pity. And don't get me wrong, I'm a hypocrite. I know I've done that before. But why do people do that? Why do people compare themselves to each other like, "Oh, who's the most unhealthy?" In like the worst way. Well, I'm just a grinder, man. Or yeah, my head's killing me, you know. So many problems in my life, you know. But I'm pushing through. That's why I only have 2 hours of sleep last night. Like, what? Were you working 3 jobs or something? No? So you just tossing and turning all night? Tell you what, I've only had a couple nights where I was been restless, and it's mostly because I was sick, or in pain, or restless because I couldn't do anything. I wanted to do something, it was late at night, I knew it would be stupid to be on my phone, but if I was on my phone for 2 hours, I probably would have passed out. How come every time you try to read, something in your brain that goes, "I'm gonna go to sleep now," oonk. Our dopamine receptors are fried. You know? We gotta constantly have stimulation. Mr. Beast, Mr. Least. You gotta be on TikTok, Instagram, Reels, whatever. God, I'm an old fogey talking about this right now. Don't get me wrong, I'm on Instagram Reels too. Again, like I say, I'm self aware that I'm a hypocrite on that. But moderation, of course. You know, we gotta have our dopamine somewhere. It's either drink a Four Loko before going into work or watch 5 minutes of Reels before you can even get out of bed in the morning. We all have our vices. You know what I mean? Don't drink before work. Don't be stupid. Be smart. Bring a thermos with you. Oh, drink at work. No, don't drink before work. Just kidding, don't drink at all. In and around, before or after work. End of story. Don't do drugs, don't do alcohol. I'm an inspiration to others. This would be fun with the boys, though. Can you imagine a little cookout here, a little campfire with a metal grate, cooking up some steaks on a cutting board with avocado and eggs? Sensational. Couple beers out here, whatever. Blast a JBL speaker playing Fetty Wap again. Truly amazing. I can hear it now. I want you to be mine again, baby. That'd be amazing. Quite honestly, it would be fantastic. It is kind of funny, right? I don't know. That's just me. I hope my head's still in the frame. Let me check. Oh, that'd be kind of goofy. I think it is. Let me just turn it up a little bit. There we go. Just in case you couldn't see my forehead. I know it's pretty big, so I wanted to make sure to get it in the shot. Ooh. But yeah, I think this would be kind of fun out here. Making up some food, you know, on the skillet, on the grill, with a campfire with all this wood here. Put out the fire, maybe start a forest fire. Ooh, just kidding, don't do that. Just living life out here, man. Throw up some hammocks. What else can you do in the forest? Maybe do a little race around here. You could definitely throw up some football. No, I'm just kidding. With all the thorns out here and these blackberries, you get torn up real quick. Not a good idea. But what other sport could you do? Little table tennis, little ping pong. A little catch here and there. Hide and seek, tag. Let's see. A little tree climbing there. That looks fun. Let's see. I don't know. Pretty fun. It is amazing out here. You know, sometimes I think it's all for naught, you know? I'm like, why am I out here? Why don't I just go home, take a shower, play Ghost of Tsushima, cook up some steak, eggs, guacamole, and put it on a cutting board? Truly live the primal life like Liver King. But then I realized, wait a minute, I need to enjoy myself. And after a long day at work, even though it's only 8 hours, I'm starting to appreciate this more than inside of my RV, you know? And I should, because I've always said to myself, the only reason you need a house is to sleep and keep all your stuff. And your stuff is important. You need to be prepared for any situation. And being able to coordinate that properly, charge your phones, charge your devices, do the things that you want to do, have the fun you want to have fun with, you require a little bit of space to call yourself home. You need to feel secure in your environment and feel, you know, like you're in the right spot. But if I could grab a Class B $50,000 Mercedes-Benz van, convert it, make it a sleeper, have a quick toilet in there that I could dump out and reuse, couple 2.5-gallon containers with water, fill it up at the library or fill it at a public fountain, do Starlink with Wi-Fi in the van, couple big batteries, solar panels on the top, very efficient energy, maybe even a hybrid van if they have that. I don't know if they do. And try not to travel too fast, too far, but just go where I need to go. Try to really self-sustain on that van. Make YouTube videos, do photography for people, do portraits, travel wherever I need to go for that, do real estate or something all over the country, get a sponsor, keep making videos. That right there is my dream. I'd do anything just for that. I don't want to be tied down. I want a family, but I want a house. I want all of that. I want that dream. The other side of me says, run it. Just run. Run away. Because this right here, just imagine experiencing this, but in a new spot, in a new place, with more or less, better or worse, but around the same average of this, if not like so much better, 10 times better than this, with waterfalls and blue, perfect mountain lakes. The cold, the hot, the cold, the hot, room temperature, 80 degrees, perfect weather, windy, cloudy, rainy, snowy. Experience every weather condition, meet new people, live life, and map out Earth. That's my dream. That's my passion. I really couldn't care about anything else. I've done it at the gym. I've done it when I'm driving places. I've done it when I was a kid in the passenger seat of my mom's car. I've done it on the boat, on islands that I've been on with my family's boat. Every trail I've been to, I map out everywhere I go. I like to explore the world and know that I've experienced every part of the place I am, of where I am. At 80s to Orlando, I mapped out that whole place. The Vanguard, same way. Knights Library, I definitely explored every place there. UCF, I've done that too. I would go to UCF sometimes just to walk around and try to experience college life there without having to pay for anything. Well, I still paid tuition, but the point is, not going there for anything else except checking out UCF, taking my drone up and flying it around there. I thought about that. Oh, downtown UCF campus, did that too. Valencia, Osceola campus, Harmony High School, yeah. Everywhere I've been, I've always mapped out the area. I've always been an explorer, always tried to find where everything's at, you know? I'm starting to realize that. And I just hope that I don't miss too much in my life. Because I know I'm not gonna get everything. I'm not gonna experience everything I've wanted to experience. But at least I can experience everything that I've set out to do. Leverage my time, leverage my money, and make sure that I go to the places I want to go, that I need to go. That's the goal in life. That's what humanity's all about, right? I want to meet people. I want to meet places. I want to meet animals. I want to see it all. And then I want to come home to a family with some decent money so I can keep going on trips. Spend my money wisely, but also for fun. I realize that now. It's a beautiful world. It really is. Yeah. Let's get back to the trail. But what is our next question? What is the next thing we wanted to talk about? I'll catch you later. Let me think about this.